So guys, Onvo management came out and said that their deliveries is actually second place. All right, very, very shocking. And we also got a new leak for the new ET5, which is absolutely fantastic. But first, I want to share with you guys the latest automobile scandal here in China. And it is, of course, fake Bowers and Wilkins speakers on Volvo cars. And apparently it's got nothing to do with the Volvo brand. It's more of the dealerships. They've been purposefully installing fake Bowers and Wilkins speakers, and it's not W, it's two V's, and this got recently exposed here in China, and everybody that has Volvo is checking their cars, and a lot of them actually got duped. All right, so instead of Bowers and Wilkins, they got like BOVVER and then VVILKIN, and they're just like, what the hell? And they checked the contract when they bought the car, and apparently it was exactly, they also got duped on the contract. So the contract in Chinese didn't say Bowers and Wilkins, it said Bowers speakers. So they got duped by the product and they got duped on the contract. So there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. They can't even sue, they can't even go in like protest. Yeah, they got to take the L. But this is hitting the news here in China, and everybody's in big shock. Like, oh my God, how can this happen? So it's the dealerships, man. They've been trying to purposefully change from the factory speakers to these Bowers, fake Bowers and Wilkins, fake speakers, jacking up the price of the car and selling it to customers for profit. I mean, like, that is so deceitful. It's just, oh my God, it's terrible. But luckily it got exposed, and of course this is going to impact Volvo's reputation here in China. But of course, more importantly, people aren't going to trust dealerships that much, right? So hopefully more people will buy NIO. Now, let's move on to the big leak. This is of course the brand new 2025 ET5. We got pictures of it. This is what it looks like. Although there's camouflage, you can sort of tell that it kind of looks more well-rounded. It looks kind of not as sharp, like the angles aren't as sharp as previous iterations of the ET5. So it kind of looks better, all right? You know, it kind of gives that the Porsche vibe. You know, it looks pretty nice. Of course, we have to wait until the camouflage is torn off to see what it looks like in the flesh. But right now, you already have the ET5 on the road. These camouflage vehicles. Very soon, we're going to start deliveries of the 2025 version of the ET5, ES6, EC6, ET5T, and that's going to reignite deliveries. Yeah, and we're going to see really good delivery numbers because a lot of people have been waiting for this car. And of course, recently, now let's move on to Onvo news. We've seen Onvo's weekly insurance registrations. Last week, 370 wasn't too encouraging, but Onvo management came out and said to everybody, hey, we actually we're actually second place. So the way they sort of framed this is that they're pure electric SUV sales. All right, it's pure electric and it's SUV, and it's between the price of 200,000 and 300,000 RMB. So they categorized it that way. And then if you look at the sales numbers, which I'll share with you very, very soon, the official clip. So Tesla had 29,832. And this is, of course, you know, they're the big brother. All right, they're the top dog. And then Onvo is at second with 7,790 vehicles sold. And then third place is Zeekr 7X, which is 5,344 vehicles. And then at the fourth place, we have IM's LS6 at 2,133 vehicles. So you see, from this metric, Onvo sales are actually doing quite well. But let's first roll the clip, all right?
Hello friends, many users are curious about how our Onvo L60 is selling today. I'll report to you from January 1st, 2025 to last week. The Onvo L60 has consistently ranked second among pure electric SUVs in the 200,000 to 300,000 yuan range across China. Firstly, we're very grateful to all our customers for their trust and support. Of course, we still have some distance to catch up with the market leader, so we must continue to work hard on improving our service. We've extended January's very generous purchase policy into February. The most significant offer is 0 down payment and 0% interest for 3 years. This means you can drive home an L60 for just 99 yuan per day. Additionally, there's 3 years of free automated driving assistance plus battery rental, buy 4 get 1 free, 24 free battery swap coupons, etc. These are excellent benefits, so if you're planning to buy a car soon, we welcome you to visit our store and experience the Onvo L60.
So of course he also talked about the recent incentives, lots of swap vouchers, lots of like BAS, pay 4 months, get 1 month free, all sorts of cool stuff. And of course, 0% interest, very, very enticing as well, persuading people to buy this car. What's interesting about this chart that they've shown, they priced Onvo at 200,000 to 300,000 RMB in that price range. But let's remember the fact that most people, well, not, I'd say the majority of people will buy this car with BAS, and that pushes the price down to 149,999 RMB. So it's kind of like the cars are actually being sold a lot cheaper, but they're categorized themselves as a much more expensive vehicle within the 200,000 to 300,000 range. And also, let's not forget that most NIO ES6s and ET5s, if you go with BAS, you also enter into that exact category between 200,000 and 300,000 RMB. So that's something interesting to ponder about. Yes, we are at second place, but the selling price of the car, right? It's actually a lot cheaper than the Tesla Model Y, and also a lot cheaper than the Zeekr 7X and IM-LS6. And let's just make it clear that the customer is paying 149,900 for the BAS variant of Onvo L60, but Onvo actually receives over 200,000 for the car, because the customer pays 149,000 RMB, and then you have the BAS company that pays Onvo for the battery, to buy the battery, and then the customer just has to pay back to the battery company monthly. So in terms of revenue, right, yes, every car sold, the money that they're getting in is still over 200,000 RMB. So let's make that very clear. And of course, this is very beneficial for consumers as well. And they're trying very hard. And of course, we covered yesterday how they even employed different third parties to try to sell the car everywhere. And they're just trying their best, right? They're trying their best to sell as many cars as they can. And I'm fairly confident that they can probably achieve that 20,000 target. Some of you guys have argued that the orders have been depleted. Actually, there are still people waiting for the cars, apparently. Yeah, there are still people waiting for their cars. And that's demand is still outpacing supply. So it seems like the previous few weeks of this delivery hiccup is all just Chinese New Year. Okay, it's all just Chinese New Year. Very soon we're going to see more production ramp up, more deliveries. There's still a lot of people waiting for their cars, which is very, very good news. Now, of course, what happens once all of these orders get eaten up and delivered, and you also have the Model Y right now in stores, that's also getting a lot of interest. So we'll have to see how consumers decide between the Model Y and the Onvo L60. Right now, if they do test drives for both cars, I'm pretty sure that unless they are swayed by the design of the Model Y, if they like the experience of battery swap, they will definitely choose the Onvo L60. And of course, it's more budget friendly. So kudos to Onvo. And just a reminder to all of you guys, we are at second place, but still very far from first place. All right. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.